We're ready to go here in game two. As the Indians winners in the first game, 6-5, as Tate Green will lead off here as we go to in game two. As pitch misses inside, and it's now 1 strike here to Tate Green leading off in the second game of the doubleheader. It is Scott Ritchie on the mound, who took the loss in the first game for the Burley Bobcats to start game two of the double dip. Here's the 1-2 pitch now on the way to Tate Green. It's hit up the middle. There's Macias. Fills the hole, throws to first, and keeping, nope, they're going to say he's off the bag. So Green will reach on an error, charge to the shortstop, Macias. Bad throw, allows him to get in.
Batting next is number 9, Dylan Haslam.
So here's Dylan Haslam, who had quite the game in the first game of the doubleheader. Had 4 hits, 4 for 4. Singled twice, doubled twice, scored 3 times. So the leadoff man aboard, not going is Green. Bluffs over at first base, and it misses outside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Pretty much the same lineups for both sides. They go to first base and back to the bag. Over there is Green. Just a few small adjustments for either side here in the second game of the doubleheader. As the ball's ripped toward into right center field, that's a hit. That's 5 hits today for Haslam, and going from first to third. And there is Green with runners at the corners and nobody out here in the top of the first inning.
Up next, we have number 6, Isaiah Smith.
So here's Isaiah Smith. Isaiah with 3 hits in the first game. Was 3 for 4. As the Bobcats bring the infield up. There goes the runner Haslam. He gets hung up between first and second. Here comes the runner to the plate, and he is safe. And then Haslam's able to reach second base. So time called, as that's going to bring the manager or the head coach, whichever you prefer, for the Bobcats back out to the mound. Remember, Ritchie gave up a couple of runs in the top of the 7th inning and drew the loss in the opener of the doubleheader today, and gives up a run here early on here in game number 2. As he's going out to the mound to visit with his pitcher. Let's give you the Preston lineup here while we have a second. Green, Haslam, and Smith. Green and Haslam already hit. Smith at the plate hitting third. Alex Hansen will hit fourth. He is the center fielder. Jackson Facer hits fifth. He's over and left. Justin Inglett moves in from shortstop to catcher. He will still hit sixth. Craig Johnson hits 7th. He's at second base. Zach Allen stays in the lineup. He'll play first base and bat 8th. And Carson Chug, the freshman, making his first start of the year and first appearance here in the game 2 of the doubleheader. As the ball's popped up in the infield, first baseman Robinson handles it for the first out. So that's 1 out. And now here is Alex Hansen.
Up to bat, number 32, Alex Hansen.
Hansen with 1 hit in the opener. Flew out, reached on a fielder's choice, and was hit by a pitch. So he was 1 for 3 officially. Haslam away from second base, and the first pitch is hit in the air to center field. Coming up is the center fielder, Watterson. Can't hold on to it, as Hansen will reach. However, the ball was to the point where Haslam couldn't advance on the play, so he had to stay at second base.
Batting next is number 1.
So runners
Jackson
at first and
Fazer.
second, and now here's Jackson Fazer coming to the plate. First pitch here to Fazer. That's over for a strike, and it's 0-1. 1 out, a run home. Here, just the top of the first inning of game 2 of the doubleheader. Indians with a couple of men on. Fazer trying to move them along. Next pitch to Fazer's popped up. Condi takes a look, but he doesn't have a play. So he watches that ball settle back into the seats, and it's 0-2. We'll give you the Burley lineup for the second game of the doubleheader when they come up in the bottom of the inning. They come up at the corners. Hanson with a big lead over at first base, and the breaking pitch is outside, and they go back to forward. Hanson is out. Hanson with a big lead, and they threw back behind him as Condi able to pick him off. That's the second out. 1 ball, 2 strikes, a count on Fazer. And the pitch home. Breaking ball stays high again. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2-2 now. The count on Jackson Fazer playing left field here in second game, just like he did in the first game today. There goes the runners, and the pitch is hit toward right center field. Watterson was playing shallow. It's by him and going to roll to the wall. As coming home to score is Haslam. Fazer to second, on his way to third, and he's in there, stumbling, bumbling, rumbling as he gets there safely with an RBI triple. Wasn't sure if he wanted to try a head-first slide, but at the last minute, just kind of pulled up as he triples home the run.
Number 44, Justin.
And that'll bring up Justin Inglet for the Indians. As Jackson Fazer stands over at second base. First pitch home to Inglet. This is up high, ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. Inglet back in behind the plate doing the catching today, as Dylan Haslam starting the second game of the doubleheader. Pitch is swung on and missed, and it's 1-1. Inglet 0 for 2 officially in the first game today. The 1-1 pitch is hit right back through the middle into center field. Base hit. That'll get the run home. So Inglet with his first hit of the day, an RBI single to center. It's 3-0 Preston. 4 hits here in the first inning.
Batting is number 20.
That'll bring up the second baseman, Craig
Johnson.
Johnson, the second baseman. Johnson, who handled the last out in the first game. Little soft line drive in the infield. Got some dark clouds starting to move into the area a little bit, but scattered. Not sure we'll have much of a threat of rain, at least not until later tonight. Possibility of rain overnight into tomorrow. I know at least in the Preston area and southwestern Idaho's a pitch over for a strike. It's 0-2. There's a winter storm warning that will go into effect tomorrow afternoon and run through Wednesday into Thursday midday as well. So the chance of snow back in the forecast on Wednesday. Pitch outside, 1-2. I talked to Coach Inglet in between games, and we talked a little bit about the weather. And he said when they get back to town tonight after the games, he's going to make sure that they go over to the field and put the tarp on the field to protect it, because they don't want to lose any more home games, with 2 home games coming up on Friday. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Up high, ball 3. So chances are the bus is going to swing by the ballpark, and the boys will put the tarp on the field before they go head home tonight. As they go to first base. Oh, they got him again. Yes, they do. They pick off 2 runners in the inning as they get England over at first base. 1-3 on the pickoff, and that's the way the inning will end, and Craig and Johnson will come back up there to start the second inning. But Preston scores 3 runs in the inning as they get 4 hits, and we're done with a half an inning. We'll go to the bottom of the first. After a half an inning, it's Preston 3 and the Burley Bobcats coming up here in game 2 of the doubleheader.
It's always refreshing to shop where you know you're appreciated. It's even better when you can get everything you need, quality parts at fair prices. The team at Preston Auto Parts CarQuest appreciate every customer. They work hard to make sure that you have the right part the first time, on time. Whether it's motorcycles, farm and ranch, lawn and garden, or car and truck parts, you can always get it all at Preston Auto Parts CarQuest. Stop in today at 17 South State Street in Preston.
If you're doing some cleanup work around the yard, the house, the garage, or the farm, remember, you can turn scrap metal into cash when you take that metal to Idaho Salvage and Metal in Preston. They pay top dollar for aluminum cans, aluminum window and door frames, brass and steel. They take junk cars and trucks, farm equipment, and industrial gear. So rather than taking that stuff to the landfill, park it on the scales at Idaho Salvage and Metal on West Oneida in Preston.
So 3-0 Preston as we go here to the bottom of the first inning. And let's give you the Burley lineup. Here's we go to the bottom of inning number 1. Pretty much the same. Carson Noble will lead off. He is the third baseman. Ramiro Garcia is the shortstop. He'll bat second. Cody Condi bats third. He does the catching. Scott Ritchie is the pitcher. He'll hit fourth. Jace Robinson hits fifth. He's the first baseman. Ike Messia hits sixth. He'll be at second base. Slater Watterson is the center fielder. He'll hit seventh. Austin Carney is the left fielder. He'll hit eighth. And then Landon Noble is the right fielder, and he will hit ninth. So here's Carson Noble to lead off. Noble with 1 hit, walked, was hit by a pitch, and struck out, so he was 1 for 2 in the first game of the doubleheader. Now they want to check the ball as the umpire is going to put a new ball into play here before we go to work here in the bottom of the first inning. So 3-0 Burley, and the first pitch is lined right at the second baseman, as making the play was Craig Johnson. So 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. And here's Ramiro Garcia. Garcia hitting from the right side. First pitch swung on and missed. Garcia with a pair of hits drove in a run in the first game. 2 for 4 overall. This is the next pitch, misses breaking ball outside low. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Haslam's next pitch again misses down and away. Ball 2, 2-1. Haslam rocks, comes home. The right-hander's breaking ball in the outside corner is a called strike. And the 2-2 pitch on the way. is rolled foul over by the third base dugout. I'm just trying to get my scorebook caught up here. 30 minutes between games of a doubleheader is not a lot. As the 2-2 pitch is a big overhand breaking pitch that stays high. That runs the count full now. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Here in the bottom of the first inning on Romero Garcia. The pitch home, the 3-2 offering is low, ball 4.
Up next, we have Cody Condi.
So here's Cody Condi. As Condi with a pair of hits, walked twice. Check that, 1 hit, I should say. He walked twice in the first game. There goes the runner. The pitch is low. The throw is going to be not in time. So Garcia steals second base. One ball, no strikes to count on Condi. As Garcia now with a walking lead away and a little ground ball to the right side. That's going to be a tough play. Johnson plugs the hole, throws to Allen in time for the out. But moving up to third base is Garcia now there with 2 outs.
That is Scott Ritchie.
So here's Scott Ritchie. Ritchie with a double in the first game. 1 for 3 overall with a scoring fly ball. So up there now with a chance to pick up a run here in the top of the first inning. Breaking ball from Haslam over for a strike, and it's 0-1. Reminder, baseball team and the softball team back home on Friday as the pitch swung out and missed. Wood River will be in town, doubleheader. First game starts at 3. Hope you can come by and join us. If not, we'll have them for you here on FM 105.5 and AM 1340, along with the video feed as the pitch is up high over the head of Ritchie. And you can find the video feed, as always, at mylocalradio.com. Here's the pitch home to Ritchie. A little half swing, tied him up, comes up empty, as do the Bobcats here in the first inning. No runs. No hits, a walk. They get a man to third base, but he's left there. As we are done with an inning, we'll go to the second. After 1 here in Burley in the second game of the doubleheader, it's Preston 3 and the Burley Bobcats have nothing. When it comes to all things electrical, Sean Carter and the guys at S&T Electrical should always be your go-to crew. With experience in everything from new construction to repairs, service, and new installations, S&T Electrical is professional and friendly in all they do. Your electrical work will be done right. Call S&T Electric today at 208-852-5878.
This is Sean Carter with S&T Electric. It's what we do.
Do you remember last spring when runoff water was flooding fields and borrow pits because of plugged, collapsed, or non-existent culverts? Well, now is the time to get new culverts installed. And Valley Implement and Irrigation has the culverts you need. They buy them by the semi-load, and they have poly pipes and culverts in the diameter and length that will get that water running where it needs to go in the spring. Remember, too, that Valley Implement has a great selection of used tractors and farm equipment at prices that work for your operation. See Valley Implement and Irrigation in Preston, Logan, or Gray.
We'll go to the second inning. Preston 3, Burley nothing after the first inning of Game 2. Preston coming away with a win in the opener today, winning by the score of 6-5, and picking up their first road win of the year.
Batting for Preston is number 20, Craigan Johnson.
Bottom third of the order due up here for Preston. Craigan Johnson, Zach Allen, and Carson Chug due up. Chug making his first appearance of the year First pitch hit foul. Ends up over by the Preston dugout, and it's 0-1. So Johnson, who got his first start in game 1 of the doubleheader, was 1 for 3, walked, scored a run. Actually 1 for 2, make it, walked and scored a run. Breaking ball misses down and in, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Had a double and a walk. Plus that run scored. Next pitch to Johnson. That's over for a strike. And it's now 1-2. Outfield straight away against him. You know, a couple of times we talked about it, Burley's outfield kind of played a little bit shallow and they got burnt a couple of times. A little roller up along the third base side, it'll go foul. And it'll be 1 ball and 2 strikes. One and 2 the count on Johnson to lead off here in the second. Again, hit foul back into the screen. One of those times we talked about the Burley outfield maybe playing a little bit shallow was in the top of the 7th inning when Dylan Haslam was able to double over the center fielder's head as the pitch is swung on and missed. And Johnson goes down on strikes to open up here in the top of the 2nd inning. First strikeout for Scott Ritchie.
Zach Allen.
So here's Zach Allen, the first baseman for the Preston Indians. Allen, who had 1 hit in 3 trips in the first game here today. Takes the first pitch low, ball 1. With his 1 hit, Allen now hits safely in 5 of the last 7 games in which he has appeared. Breaking ball, they ask again, no swing, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. The freshman, Carson Chug, waits on deck. Here's the 2-0. Breaking pitch over this time, and it's 2-1. So Allen with 1 hit in the first game, now with 6 hits on the year. Pitch misses down low. And it's now 3 balls and a strike. 6 for 14 officially on the year is what Allen is. And here's the 3-1 pitch. That's ripped. 1 hopper handled by the third baseman Noble on 1 knee. Throws across in time to get him. Slick play over there at third base by Carson Noble. As Burley's showing off some leather a little bit here today.
Batting is number 34, Carson Chubb.
A couple of nice plays that they have made. So here's Carson Chubb, the freshman. He's going to hit from the right side, wearing number 34 in blue on the back of that gray uniform. As Ritchie winds and comes home, and the first pitch over for a strike, and it's 0-1. Ritchie ready again. Here's the 0-1 offering, swung on and missed, and it's 0-2. Preston went in order once in the first game. Ball popped up in foul ground. Robinson in foul ground makes the catch, and Preston goes out 1-2-3 here in the top of inning number 2 in the second game of the doubleheader. We'll go bottom 2. Preston up 3-0 on FM 105.5, AM 1340, and mylocalradio.com.
Qualifications and rules apply. See institution for details.
So I'm a typical banking customer.
And I'm a nearby ATM.
And I'm taking $20 out of my account.
And I'll process that $20 and take back $4.
Why do machines designed to give us money end up taking it right back? Introducing Kasasa, the free account that pays refunds on ATM fees and a lot more. To find a free Kasasa checking account near you, search Kasasa.
Ask for free Kasasa checking at Advantage Plus Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by the NCUA. In Franklin County, they know it's what's on the inside that really matters. That's why they offer advanced radiology and imaging using the latest in technology, performing x-rays, CAT scans, MRIs, nuclear testing, ultrasounds, mammography, and much more, right in Preston, Idaho. With short wait times and a highly skilled staff available around the clock, they'll help you reach a diagnosis quicker. Make sure your doctor knows you want to save time and money closer to home. Let them be the next to take your picture. Franklin County Medical Center, where hospitality and excellence meet.
Before we go here to the bottom of the second inning, not sure what happened with Zach Allen, if he got hit by a ball over at first base, but it looks like he is going to leave. And looks like Jackson Fazer is going to come in from left field and take over at first base. Carson Chugg is now going to move over and play left field. And moving in to right field and hitting in Zach Allen's place is going to be Colby Dean. So I'm not sure what happened at first base, but
Up for Burley, we have
as Allen was holding the side of his face, my only guess is maybe he got a ball off the side of the face. He wasn't looking. I have no idea. It's pure speculation on my point. But a couple of defensive changes for the Indians here before we go to the bottom of inning number 2. And the first pitch here to Jackson Robinson is over for a strike with a breaking ball. It's 0-1. Next pitch over again, and it's 0-2. Robinson, 1 for 3 in the first game. Had a triple in the first inning of the opener as a breaking pitch misses inside. So Chugg now in left field. Colby Dean is now the right fielder as a pitch to Robinson is a called third strike. Second strikeout for Dylan Haslam.
Up next we have Isaac Macias.
That'll bring up the second baseman, Isaac Macias. And Facer now at first base for the Indians rounds out those 3 defensive changes. Breaking ball here to Macias, over for a strike. Isaac Macias drew the collar in the first game, went 0 for 3, struck out a couple of times. Bunts here out in front of home plate. Haslam down to get it, throws to first in time for the out. So nice bounce off the mound by Dylan Haslam as Macias is out. And now here is Slider Watterson, the center fielder. Watterson, who started the first game of the doubleheader on the mound, came away with a no decision in the game. He rolls one up along the third base line. That'll be foul, as Inglet picked it up in foul ground. He'll come back and we'll do it all again. At the plate in the first game, Watterson was 0 for 3. The 0-1. Check that. The 0-2 is on the inside corner. Strike 3 called. So Haslam comes back and matches his opponent as he puts the side out in order. They go out 1, 2, 3, and we are done with 2 innings. We'll go to the third. It's still Preston 3 and the Burley Bobcats nothing.
Station or convenience store on the side of a delivery truck, you know quality Sinclair products are available there from Hall Oil Company. Hall Oil is a family-owned and operated business that's been serving folks in Cache Valley since 1947. They're your local fuel and oil broker with a low-price guarantee. Another guarantee that's been really important this winter is that when you fill your fuel tanks with premium winter diesel fuel from Hall Oil, it's guaranteed not to gel even when the temperature drops below 0. It's the no-gel guarantee from Hall Oil Company.
It's always refreshing to shop where you know you're appreciated. It's even better when you can get everything you need. Quality parts at fair prices. The team at Preston Auto Parts CarQuest appreciate every customer. They work hard to make sure that you have the right part the first time, on time. Whether it's motorcycles, farm and ranch, lawn and garden, or car and truck parts, you can always get it all at Preston Auto Parts CarQuest. Stop in today at 17 South State Street in Preston.
We'll go to the third. Preston leading by a score of 3-0 here in the second game. And here in the top of the third inning, the Indians will start from the top of the order. Tate Green, Dylan Haslam, and Isaiah Smith due up. The first pitch to Green swung on and missed. Green reached on an error and scored a run in the first game. Hit a ground ball to short that Garcia threw low at first base and pulled Robinson off the bag and takes the 0-1 pitch outside and low, and it's 1-1 strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Tate. Outside again, ball 2. Haslam 1 for 3, single homer run, scored what was the tying run in the top of the 7th inning. The 2-1 pitch is up high, ball 3. Ended up being his only hit of the game to lead off the 7th inning, as he was 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Hit foul back into the screen. So 3-2 the count on Green to lead off here in the third. As he hits the ball in the air, coming over to have a look is Condi, but he runs out of room. Ball lands in the first row in the grandstands, just on the other side of the netting. These games were originally scheduled for tomorrow, but they were moved to here today because many members of the Preston student body, as the pitch is over for a strike, great breaking ball from Richie. That gets Green looking as he goes down on strikes. Many members of the Preston student body are taking the SAT test tomorrow.
Up batting is number 9, Dylan.
They move the games here to today, and that'll bring up Dylan Haslam. Second strikeout for Richie as he gets Green looking. Here's Haslam, single, scored a run in the first inning today. Pulls one, backhanded to third by Noble, quickly to his feet, throws wide and pulls the man off the bag. That'll be an infield hit for Haslam, his second hit today in the game. He's not only does he have 2 hits today, get this, he is 6 for 6 in the doubleheader.
Batting number 6, Isaiah Smith.
Haslam is making the most of his opportunities today. My goodness. So here is Isaiah Smith, 3 for 4 in the first game. Richie comes set, going to go over to first base just to try to keep Haslam close. Remember, Haslam stole a base in the first inning today. He also stole a base, actually stole 2 bases in the first game. So he has 3 steals overall today, just in case 6 for 6 isn't good enough for you. As the breaking ball is on the inside, ties Smith up. Rolled away from Condi momentarily, but he's able to pick it up and get it back to the pitcher. 0-1 the count. Haslam with a lead away from first. Richie sets at the belt and comes home. The pitch is outside, ball 2. Check that, ball 1, I should say. 1-1 strike. Outfield straight away. Noble, the right fielder, a little bit off the bag, off the line, as they go to first base, and again Haslam back to the bag. Smith waiting from the right side. Haslam away from first. He bluffs over there. Ball pitch is popped up in foul ground. Here comes Noble to make the play right in front of the dugout. Snaps the throw needlessly back over toward first base and almost threw it away. But a nice play over there by Robinson to keep it from getting away as Smith fouls out. That's the second out of the inning.
Number 32, Alex Hansen.
So that'll bring up Alex Hansen. Hansen singled but then was picked off first base in the first inning here today. Also had one hit in the first game of the doubleheader as well, so he's hit safely in both games. Breaking pitch swung on and missed. We told you about the storm clouds moving in sometime later tonight. Well, with that, the wind is not only picked up, but it's also changed direction now a little bit, blowing almost out to left field as they go to first base. And back to the bag over there again, as safe as Haslam. Blowing almost across the outfield in the first game of the doubleheader, now blowing out toward left center. There goes the runner. The pitch is a strike. The throw is pretty good as well, and he is out at second base. So Haslam caught stealing, and that's the way the inning ends, as Alex Hansen will be back up there when the Indians come back up in the fourth. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Preston 3 and Burley nothing on FM 105.5, AM 1340, and mylocalradio.com.
Qualifications and rules apply. See institution for details.
Last play of the game, folks.
And the snap, drops back. Whoa, changes mind. Down the sideline. The 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Casasa! Unbelievable! Did you see that? Casasa!
Not to be a buzzkill, but what's Casasa? We're glad you asked that. Casasa. It's a catchy word for earning cash. Free Casasa checking rewards you in cash each month.
Ask for free Casasa checking at Advantage Plus Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by the NCU.
In business for almost 70 years, Valley Implement has been serving customers with integrity, personalized service, and accountability for generations. Their mission is to contribute to agriculture and the agricultural way of life. When it comes to irrigation, equipment, attachments, parts and service, and precision farming, Valley Implement in Preston is here to work for you. Visit them today, 213 West 8th North, Preston. Valley Implement, all things agriculture.
Bottom of the third inning, 3-0 Preston. Here in the second game of the doubleheader. Preston baseball here on FM 105.5 and AM 1340, brought to you in part by Agri-Service. Agri-Service, you'll find them in Hyde Park up in Utah, or down in Utah at 4085 North South 75th West. As to remind you that together we drive agriculture forward. You'll find all the popular models.
Number 1, Austin Crowley.
By all the popular names and models, Massey, Ferguson, Kubota, Heston, and Challenger all on the way. As the first pitch here is up high. Ball one ball and no strikes. Austin Cranny leads it off here in the bottom of the third inning. First pitch was up high, second pitch swung on and missed, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Cranny, 1 for 2, plus was hit by a pitch in the opener. As the next pitch is inside again. 2 balls and a strike. Haslam's 2-1 pitch is up high, ball 3. Is just not quite in rhythm here, at least not so far in this inning. He's a little bit rushed to the plate, and his arm is late, and the ball stays high as the pitch is inside, and it's a leadoff walk here in the fourth inning.
Batting is Carson Noble.
So the leadoff man aboard, second walk given up. As that brings up Landon Noble, the right fielder, as they go to first base, and back to the bag safely over there is Carney. Noble drew the collar in the first game. He was 0 for 3. In fact, he struck out all 3 times. Shows bunt, bunts it foul. Carson Noble waiting on deck. They go back over to first base and back to the bag. In time over there is Cranny. 0-1 the count. Again, shows bunt, pulls the bat back, takes the pitch high, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, back over to first base, and again back safely over there is the base runner. That is Cranny over at first. Does get the bunt down this time. It's going to roll foul before Haslam can pick it up. So 1-2 the count as Landon Noble comes back up to the plate. Outfield straight away against him. Again, they go back to first, and this time they got him. So Cranny picked off. 1-3 for the first out of the inning. And it stays 1-2 on Noble. Ground ball to the right side. Johnson able to get there neatly, throw to first in time for the out.
Up to bat is Carson Noble.
Heck of a play by the second baseman, Johnson. Now it's back to the top of the order, and Carson Noble due up. First pitch to Noble, a little breaking ball that misses down low, ball 1 ball with no strikes. Noble lined out to the second baseman, Johnson, his first time up to here in game 2 of the doubleheader. Here's the 1-0, missed outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Next pitch again, misses outside, ball 3. It's 3-0. Here's the 3-0 pitch. And it's over this time on the outside edge, 3-1. Haslam rocks. Here's the 3-1 offering. That's on the corner. Whoops, as Noble chucks the bat away. And has to go back and get it. Now he'll come back up 3-2. Trust me, the umpires don't like that when that happens. As the 3-2 pitch on the way is hit foul off the right field side. So Noble back up there 3-2. And the 3-2 pitch is hit up the middle by the mound. Johnson able to glove near the bag, throws, and not in time. In fact, Fazer dropped the ball over at first base.
Batting is Ramiro Garcia.
That brings up Ramiro Garcia. Garcia walked and stole a base in the first inning. They go back over to first base again, and this time it's Carson Noble back in on his hands and knees. Breaking ball is going to hit him. So the curveball doesn't. That'll put runners at first and second. First hit batter for Haslam. As that brings up Cody Condi. Condi with a pair of walks was 1 for 2 in the first game. Pops the first pitch up. Green in foul territory. He's there, makes the catch, and the inning is over. And Preston able to dodge the bullet and strand a couple of guys on base. No runs, a hit, a walk, a hit batter. They leave 2. as we are done with 3 as we go to the 4th. Preston 3, Burley nothing on FM 105.5, AM 1340, and mylocalradio.com.
Whether a loved one passes suddenly and much too soon or after a long and fruitful earthly journey, the families of Northern Cache Valley have known for years they can rely on sensitive and professional care from Webb Funeral Home. Now in their beautiful full-service facility on the south side of Preston, Webb Mortuary urges you to consider the benefits of pre-planning final arrangements in order that your wishes are carried out and difficult decisions are not left to your surviving family members. Make an appointment soon to talk about pre-planning with your friends at Webb Funeral Home. Webb Funeral Home, established in Preston in 1925, has served the needs of Franklin County families and their neighbors for several generations. Now in their modern new full-service facilities just off Highway 91 south of Preston, Webb Funeral Home continues to offer caring and professional services to all residents of the area in their time of need. Funeral directors Douglas Webb, Ron Smaley, and Jordan Webb, along with aftercare specialist Jody Rasmussen, thank you for your trust in them and welcome your questions and concerns anytime. A message from your friends at Webb Funeral Home.
Home sweet home. That's where you go for a home-cooked meal, a good night's sleep, and, well, people who just like you for who you are. So if you call Cache Valley home, we hope you'll call West Motor home. Home to Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and of course home to Ram trucks. West Motor Company is home to so many car buyers in this area. It's because they treat you right and give you the best deal they can possibly finagle.
The doubleheader
Simply
is moving
put,
along
it
quite
feels
quickly
right
here.
at West Motor.
As here we start the top of the 4th. Alex Hansen will lead it off here in the 4th inning, as he was left standing at home plate when Dylan Haslam was thrown out trying to steal. As the first pitch hit on one hop right back to the pitcher. As we're able to knock it down, we're able to pick it up is the pitcher and throw out Hansen for the first out. So nice play by Ritchie, able to hang with that ball. And one pitch, one out here in the top of the 4th.
Batting number 1, Jackson Facer.
Now bring up Jackson Fazer, who's now the first baseman for the Indians here in the second game. Takes the first pitch outside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. In case you missed it, Zach Allen started over there in the second game of the doubleheader. Either got hit or had something in his eye, but either way had to come out after the top of the first inning here in the second game. As the next pitch to Fazer misses up high again, and it's ball 3, 3 balls and no strikes. So that forced the Indians to make 3 different defensive adjustments, and Fazer came in from left field and ends up playing at first base. As the pitch to, Fazer did it again. He did it too. He took the 3-0 pitch, thought he had got a ball 4, but it's called a strike. And just like Carson Noble did, Fazer has to get the bat back from the on-deck circle. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That's hit foul, and it's now 3-2. 3 runs in the top of the first inning for Preston. So far, they've made them all stand up. On 4 hits, there was an error, and they did not leave anybody in the first inning either. As Fazer hits that ball into short right center field, Macias, the second baseman, backpedaling, can't make the play. So it's a little flare hit for Jackson Fazer. That's his second hit here in the second game of the doubleheader.
Up to bat is number 44, Justin England.
That brings up Justin England. Today's game is brought to you in part by Farmers Insurance agent Corey Bingham. You can find him in Logan, but he is your local Farmers Insurance agent. He's been serving Franklin and Cache counties for over 20 years. So if you need an insurance quote, give Corey Bingham a call. You can reach him at 435-713-4500. That's 435-713-4300. Ground ball to short. Here goes the second for 1. Look out. The return throw is going to be a double play because the throw hits off of Fazer. That's going to be an interference out. So that'll be another double play turned by the Bobcats. That'll go 4-6-3 on the double play, and the inning is over. We'll go to the middle of the 4th. After 3.5, it's still Preston 3 and the Bobcats nothing.
We're not your ordinary grocery store at Stokes Market and True Value in Preston. We see every customer as a friend and a neighbor. Stokes Market and True Value offers a clean, bright, and modern store with the freshest meats, produce, and bakery. In many ways, we're still old-fashioned. We still bake from scratch, and our bakery items are made in store. You'll never see meat with an ingredient list because our meats are all natural and cut in store. Stop in today. Stokes Market and True Value, 217 South State Street, Preston.
It's always refreshing to shop where you know you're appreciated. It's even better when you can get everything you need. Quality parts at fair prices. The team at Preston Auto Parts CarQuest appreciate every customer. They work hard to make sure that you have the right part the first time, on time. Whether it's motorcycles, farm and ranch, lawn and garden, or car and truck parts, you can always get it all at Preston Auto Parts CarQuest. Stop in today at 17 South State Street in Preston.
Bottom of the fourth inning, 3-0 Preston. Haslam ready to go back to work here as we go to the bottom of the fourth. As Scott Ritchie, Jace Robinson, and Ike Macias due up here in the bottom of the fourth inning. As it is the Bobcats coming back up, only have one hit in the game so far. As Ritchie comes up. And the first pitch to Scott, inside, couldn't fight it off, and it's 0-1. Told you there was some other games that were starting about 5 o'clock local time today in the big leagues, and they are all underway. We'll kind of sneak in some, look at some scores here as we go along here in the top of the fourth. Haslam's 1-1 pitch misses outside, and it's ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Fourth inning in Philadelphia. The Nationals leading the Phillies by a score of 2-0 today. Pitch hit foul, and it's 2-2. They play in the third in Baltimore. The Orioles leading the Athletics by a score of 4-2. And they're also in the fourth inning down in Houston at Minute Maid Park. As a pitch is waved out and missed, dropped by the catcher, has to retire the out at first base, which he does. Strikeout, 2-3 on the putout for the first out.
Bat number 19, Robinson.
Third strikeout for Haslam. As the first pitch here to Robinson is hit foul back into the screen. 0-1 count. Here's the 0-1 pitch home to Robinson. That's up high, ball 2. Fourth inning in Houston. Yankees leading Houston by a score of 1-0. Just underway in St. Louis. Dodgers got 2 runs in the top of the first inning against the Cardinals. That ball stroked to center is in for a hit. Second hit of the game for the Burley Bobcats here in the nightcap. As Robinson picks up his first hit. Ike Macias comes to the plate. Grounded out his first time up. So the Dodgers got a couple of runs in the first inning against the Cardinals. The Cardinals got 2 runs in the bottom of the inning, and they're still hitting. A 2-2 tie there at Busch. Look out, pitch up and in, and hits Macias. So Macias hit by a pitch. That's 2 hit batters here in the game by Dylan Haslam. And with runners at first and second and 1 out, here's Slater Robinson as they go to first base. As Fazier's not even holding the bag, as Haslam went over there anyway as the pitch is up high but hit foul by Watterson, and it's 0-1. The 2 finals from earlier today, the Rays beat the White Sox 5-1. And the Cubs in their home opener beat the Pirates 10-0. Pirates helped out the Cubs a lot today by committing 4 errors in that game. Ball popped up in the infield. The infield fly rule was called. So that is a Watterson pops up. That's the second out. And now here's Austin Cranny with runners at first and second. Kind of sneak in behind the runner at second base, and the first pitch misses inside, ball 1. They look back to second base and bluff back there. Next pitch, fastball is high, ball 2, 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. This is inside, ball 3, 3-0. So Crandy waiting at the plate, ahead 3-0. He's already walked once here in the second game. Takes that pitch over for a strike. Was on the verge of trying to throw the bat away. Thought better of it. And here comes the 3-1 pitch. Now it's outside, ball 4. So that loads the bases. Third walk for Haslam in the game. Bases loaded with 2 outs. And the number 9 hitter, Landon Noble, due up.
Up next to bat, number
Today's
10,
game brought to you in part by Northern Title Company in Preston. Call Northern Title Company for all your title and escrow needs. Remember this, they'd like to say, it's good deeds done daily as they go to first base, and it's all, and back safely over there. Now they go to third, and back over there is safe in time. Haslam comes home. The first pitch swung on and missed. And a balk called on Haslam. That's going to force the run home. Haslam turns around and asks the base umpire what he did. It's actually what he didn't do. He didn't stop. He bounced at the bottom of the set position. So it's no balls and no strikes, as that was a no pitch call on the balk. Everybody moves up 90 feet, forces a run home, makes it 3-1 at Preston. Pitch is down low, ball 1. So Macias now at third and Cranny now at second. Third balk of the day called against Preston pitchers. Bouncer wide of third, backhanded in the hole by Smith. Goes to first in time for out number 3. And the Bobcats will have to settle for the 1 run in the inning. 1 run, a hit batter, a walk, and they leave 2 in the inning as well. We're done with 4 innings here. We'll go to the 5th. It's Preston 3, Burley 1 on FM 105.5, AM 1340, and mylocalradio.com. When it comes to all things electrical, Sean Carter and the guys at S&T Electrical should always be your go-to crew. With experience in everything from new construction to repairs, service, and new installations, S&T Electrical is professional and friendly in all they do. Your electrical work will be done right. Call S&T Electric today at 208-852-5878.
This is Sean Carter with S&T Electric in Preston, Idaho. It's what we do.
When it comes to major surgery, think small. Small town, that is. At Franklin County Medical Center, the surgical capabilities are anything but small. Partnered with the top surgeons and specialists in the region to provide advanced care to those living in southeastern Idaho. Whether it's cataract surgery, women's surgery, gallbladder removal, trauma, even a full hip or knee replacement, they have you covered. And now, they're among the few hospitals in southeastern Idaho able to remove kidney stones. See just how big the surgical capabilities really are. Franklin County Medical Center, where hospitality and excellence.
done with 4 innings as we go to the 5th. Preston up 3-1 as it'll be Cragen Johnson, Colby Dean, and Carson Chug all coming up for Preston, the bottom third of the order. And the first pitch to Johnson bounces up there, ball 1. Are you suffering from back pain, inflammation, foot pain, headaches? Want to be able to sleep better? We have the answer for you. As here's the next pitch to Johnson. That's on the corner, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. The answer is Limbrick Arc, a phone app that will teach you how to overcome your pains and inflammation as the pitch is swung on and missed. It's 1-2. All you have to do is go to our website, mylocalradio.com, and find any of the logos for Limbrick Arc. Click on the logo, and it'll take you right to their website to tell you all about how you can overcome your pain as the ball's driven to center. Going back on the ball is Watterson. It's over his head, and that too is going to go to the wall. Johnson to second, and he's going to keep on going. The throw's cut off. Now the relay to third is not in time. It's a triple.
Up next to bat, number 22, Dean.
So Colby Dean will come up with the leadoff man aboard over at third base. And for Preston, that's their 6th hit of the game. And for Johnson, who had a RBI double in the first game, triples here. So he has a pair of extra base hits here in the game today. And here's Colby Dean for his first at-bat of the day. And takes the first pitch, swung on and missed, and it's 0-1. Dean, 2 hits and 6 official at-bats. He's gone hitless in each of the last 3 games in which he's played. 2 for 6, of course, comes out to a .333 batting average. As the pitch is outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. Outside again, ball 2. So 2-0. Two and one rather on Dean. And here's the 2-1 offering. Inside, almost hit him. Snap throw back to third, not in time. So Dean almost took that off the lead elbow. Instead, it was a ball, and goes to 3 balls and 1 strike. Here's the 3-1 to Dean. Outside, ball 4. So a triple, a walk.
Up next to bat, number 34, Chug.
Runners at the corners. Now here's Carson Chug. Chug started the game in right, moved over to left when Allen had to leave. Up there now in a big opportunity. Fouled out his first time up here today. But up there with runners at the corners and nobody out here in the top of the 5th. They're going to go to first base, and Dean back to the bag with a dive. Johnson down the line from third. And the pitch home to Chubb. Swung on and missed. Pretty good swing for the freshman. Comes up empty, however, and it's 0-1. Preston scored 3 times in the top of the first. Burley comes back with 1 in the 4th. That's where we stand here, 3-1 as we play in the top of inning number 5. They fake to third, look to first. There goes Dean. He's going to steal second base. Now they throw to third, and here comes Johnson home to score. A throw by the first baseman, Robinson, that really didn't need to be made. And it was a bad throw, and that's going to allow Johnson to come home on what will be a throwing error charged to the first baseman. Dean stayed at second base after the ball got away over at third. And it stays 0-1 on Carson Chug, now with a runner at second base. Still with a runner in scoring position as it's 4-1 Preston. And here's the pitch to Chug, over for a strike, and it's 0-2. So a throwing error by the first baseman Robinson allows the run to come in. And here's the 0-2 pitch on the way to Chug. Up high, kind of ducked underneath it. And it's 1-2. Outfield's straight away and fairly shallow as the pitch is, nope, they're going to go to second base and keep the runner close out there instead. Ready again is Ritchie, looks back at second base in the 0-2. Swung on and missed. Got Chug to chase one up in his eyes and comes up empty.
Back, number 27, Green.
So back to the top of the order, now here's Tate Green. Third strikeout for Scott Ritchie here in the game. Green reached on an error and took a called third strike his last time up. Green shows bunt, takes for a strike. The throw to third is wild by Condi. Nice save by Noble to keep it going down the left field line. As Dean steals third base, his second steal here in the inning. Oh, and 1 the count on Green. Shows bunt again. This time bunts at it, leaves it in Condi's glove, and it's 0-2. Oh, 2 with 1 out. The Indians have added a run here in the top of the 5th. They lead it 4-1. Green asks for and gets timeout. Third base coach Inglet comes over to say something to Dean. Now Green climbs back in the box. No balls and 2 strikes. And here's the pitch home. Breaking ball, missed inside. Had Green giving ground for just a brief second. Then able to take the pitch on the inside half, but it missed inside, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, the 1-2 pitch on the way from Ritchie. Hit in the air, center field. Watterson has the play. Colby Dean tags. He's coming home. The throw's going to come through, and he is safe at home. Scoring fly ball for Green.
Up next to bat,
that picks up the
9,
run.
Haslam.
Now with 2 outs in the inning, that makes it a 5-1 game as the Indians have plated 2 here in the 5th. And now here's Dylan Haslam trying to keep his perfect day going. Had 4 hits, scored 3 times in the first game, and so far here in the second has a pair of singles, stole a base, and scored a run just for good measure. In time as Haslam asks for and gets timeout from the home plate umpire. Now ready to go. Here's the pitch. Rolled foul up along third. In the first game, Haslam singled in the first, doubled in the second, singled in the 5th, and then doubled again in the 7th, doubled homer run. So 4 hits, scored 4 times, stole a base, and drove in a run in the opener today. Takes that pitch in the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike. And then with singles in the first and the third, stole a base and scored a run again in the first inning today. So Haslam's having himself quite a day. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and missed. It's 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes. Home plate umpire kind of cleans off home plate there a little bit. Richie stands both feet on the rubber with nobody on here. 2 runs home in the inning for the Indians, and the 1-2 pitch swung on and missed. They'll have to record the out at first base. They do, and they finally get Dylan Haslam today as he strikes out to end the 5th. Indians plate 2 here in the top of the 5th. We'll go bottom 5. It's Indians 5 and the Bobcats 1 on FM 105.5, AM 1340, and mylocalradio.com.
Home sweet home. That's where you go for a home-cooked meal, a good night's sleep, and, well, people who just like you for who you are. So if you call Cache Valley home, we hope you'll call West Motor home. Home to Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and of course home to Ram trucks. West Motor Company is home to so many car buyers in this area. It's because they treat you right and give you the best deal they can possibly finagle. Simply put, it feels right at West Motor. WestMotorCompany.com. Welcome home.
Qualifications and rules apply. See institution for details.
So I'm a typical banking customer.
And I'm a nearby ATM.
And I'm taking $20 out of my account.
And I'll process that $20 and take back $4.
Why do machines designed to give us money end up taking it right back? Introducing Kasasa, the free account that pays refunds on ATM fees and a lot more. To find a free Kasasa checking account near you, search Kasasa.
Ask for free Kasasa checking at Advantage Plus Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Dylan Haslam is just now making his way out to the mound. So we're going to have a moment here before we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, which gives us a chance to remind you that today's game is brought to you in part by Naylor Insurance. You'll find them at 153 State Street in Preston, Suite A. They're part of the Mutual of Enumclaw Network, which offers auto, home, farm, and business insurance. Remember, as they like to say, nobody cares like we do. That's Naylor Insurance online at naylorins.com, or give them a call at 208-852-0810. They're right there on State Street, 153 State in Preston. Carson Noble leads it off. Takes the first pitch inside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Noble lined out, singled, and hits this one in the air to right. Dean has to play that on a hop. So that'll be his second hit as he leads off here in the 5th with a single to right field. Hit number 3 in the game as the ball gets away in the infield, and there goes the runner down to second base, Noble. So an error against the Indians gives Noble second base. So here is Ramiro Garcia as they go back to second base in the dirt. As Johnson keeps that ball from going into center field. Pitches outside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Haslam, pitching with a 4-run lead, has had his little bouts with wildness today. He's walked 3, hit a couple of batters, and that pitch over for a strike, and it's now 1-1. Haslam, who was 1-1 coming into the game with an ERA of almost 11. This is his 4th appearance on the year. He worked in 11 2/3 innings this season. Pitch swung on and missed, and it's 1-2. Struck out 14 coming into the game, has 3 here today in those 11 innings of work. The 1-2. Little floater in the infield. Bad hop, weird hop. It bounces behind Smith, and here comes the runner to score to make it 5-2. Ball hit with a little English on it.
Bat, number 20, Condi.
And when it hit the infield dirt, it took a bounce to the left and bounced behind Smith, who was trying to cut it off. It got behind him and allowed Noble to come in and score. It's an RBI single for Garcia. And now here is Cody Condi due up, the catcher. 5-2, nobody out. Runner at first base. Second hit of the inning. Now here's Condi, and the first pitch is hit foul along the right field line. That's going to drop untouched and out of play. So 0-1, the count on Condi. Our next broadcast comes up for you on Friday afternoon. Indians at home against Wood River as Condi heads down toward third base to talk to the coach, but then turns around and comes back. Doubleheader starting at 3 and 5. As again they go to first base and back to the bag. Over there is Garcia. So that'll be our next broadcast for you. That's on Friday afternoon. Next pitch, runner goes. Pitch is low for a ball. As stealing second base was Garcia. Moves up into scoring position. One ball, one strike. Condi waiting at home plate. Pitch home again, hit foul. That's off of Condi's foot and foul out in front of home plate. So Condi will come back. Garcia will go back to second base. And it's 1-2, and now he will take that opportunity to go down and visit with the third base coach for a moment. Condi with one hit in the first game, walked a couple of times, but he's 0 for 2 here so far in the nightcap. Grounded out and fouled out. Nobody out here, bottom 5. 1 run home for the Bobcats. Again, the pitch popped up. This one again is going to land untouched over by the Preston dugout, and it stays at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes, and Haslam with a new ball back up on top of the bump. Garcia comes down the line from third. Here's the 1-2 to Condi. Hit in the air. Left field. Chug waiting for it to come down, and the freshman can't play it. That's going to allow the run to come in on the air, and going all the way to second base is Condi.
Up next to bat, number 6, Richie.
So that's the second run of the inning. That makes it 5-3. And now here comes a visit to the mound by Coach Inglet for the Indians. As the entire infield is going to get together on the mound for a moment, which gives us a chance to remind you that Tattles Bar and Grill is the best place in town to go for a breakfast or lunch. Stop by and enjoy a home-cooked meal. Paddles Bar and Grill, 790 West Oneida in Preston. They're open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 days a week. It's the best breakfast in town. Tattles Bar and Grill. Still nobody out in the inning. Coach Inglet's had his say. He turns and heads back toward the dugout. The error on the ball misplayed by Chug in left field allows the run to come in. Condi now stands at second base. 2 hits and an error in the inning. Produce a couple of runs. And here's the first pitch here to Scott Ritchie, the pitcher, who takes the pitch over for a strike, and it's 0-1. Ritchie with a 1 hit and 3 at-bats, including a scoring fly ball in the first game of the doubleheader today. He's struck out twice here in the nightcap. And the next pitch is hit foul back into the screen, and now he's behind in the count, 0-2. Wind still blowing out toward left center field, although it's not nearly as hard as it was at the start of Game 2 of the doubleheader. Haslam ready, and the pitch hits him on the 0-2 pitch. So that's the third hit batter to go along with 3 walks, puts runners at first and second again.
Robinson.
And now here is Jace Robinson, who comes to the plate, actually representing the go-ahead run. 2 runs home here in the inning, a couple of men on base. Here's Robinson, struck out, singled, and that pitch over for a strike, and it's 0-1. Oh, and 1 the count on Robinson. Haslam trying to work himself out of a little trouble. That pitch is up and in, and that hits him. Nope, they're going to call it a foul ball. He had squared to bunt. Yeah, they're going to call it a foul ball at home plate, so it's 0-2. Here comes the 0-2 offering. Fastball swung on and missed. So that's 4 strikeouts for Haslam. It's only the first out, however.
Number 7, Ike.
Here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and Ike Messia coming up. Messia hit back to the box, and it was also hit by a pitch. 0 for 1 officially on the day, on the game. Still only 1 out. First pitch, fastball high. Messia, 0 for 3 in the first game. So he's still hitless in the doubleheader. 0 for 1 officially here in the nightcap. As a bluff back to second base, just to try to keep the catcher, Condi, close out there. The runners go, the pitch is outside, and the throw, nobody's covering third base. As Green was playing up on the infield grass, expecting a bunt. Both runners move up on the double steal. Condi goes to third. Ritchie moves up to second. Now the tying runs are in scoring position. They go to third base, not in time. The 1-1 pitch, squeeze, the bunt is down. They come home, and he is out at home. And now going to second base, trying to put a big wide turn around the corner, and moving up to second base is Macias. So Macias reaches on the fielder's choice, ends up going to second without a play.
Number 11, Watterson.
Condi is out 1-2, trying to score for the second out of the inning. Now here is Slider Watterson, 0 for 2. Struck out, popped up here in the second game. And the first pitch is up high, ball 1. Watterson also hitless in the first game of the doubleheader as well. Flew out, grounded out, and struck out. And again, they go back to third base, and this time the runner is safe. So Watterson at the plate, swings and misses, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 runs home here in the bottom of the 5th for the Bobcats. They've gotten back to within a couple of runs. As now they're going to go back to second base. They have both runners at third. Smith is going to run the runner toward the plate, and they're going to tag him out, and the inning is over as the Bobcats kind of run themselves out of an inning, as it is Scott Ritchie tagged out 1-6, I should say, as he is caught stealing, and that's the inning is over. So 2 runs in the inning for the Bobcats. We're done with 5. Preston still leads by the score of 5-3 on FM 105.5, AM 1340, and mylocalradio.com.
If you're doing some cleanup work around the yard, the house, the garage, or the farm, remember, you can turn scrap metal into cash. when you take that metal to Idaho Salvage and Metal in Preston. They pay top dollar for aluminum cans, aluminum window and door frames, brass and steel. They take junk cars and trucks, farm equipment, and industrial gear. So rather than taking that stuff to the landfill, park it on the scales at Idaho Salvage and Metal on West Oneida in Preston.
From sunup to sundown, we spend our time on the dairy, caring for cows and producing milk. And we also love being part of our tight-knit communities, being advocates for the kids in our schools, and being providers of safe, nutritious food for families around here and around the world. As your local dairy producers, we are more than farmers. We are Dairy West.
As we go here to the top of the 6th inning, new pitcher comes on here for the Bobcats. It'll be Carson Noble to come in and pitch. Scott Ritchie went 5 innings here in the nightcap of the doubleheader. And he gave up 5 runs on 7 hits. He walked 1 and struck out 3. After pitching the 7th inning in the first game and being charged with the loss, he leaves here on the hook for the loss as well. So Carson Noble comes in to pitch. He'll face the 3, 4, and 5 hitters here for the Indians. It'll be Isaiah Smith, Alex Hansen, and then Jackson Facer due up. And the first pitch to Smith is popped up foul. It's the catcher coming over to have a look, but Condi runs out of room over by the first base dugout. And it's 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Pitch home again to Smith. Off speed, swung on and missed. For Smith, 0 for 2 here in the nightcap. He has hit the ball in the air a couple of times, as he hits a ground ball this time to the shortstop. Garcia knocks it down, picks it up, and throws wildly back to first base, and Smith will reach on the air.
Up next, number 32, Hansen.
So that brings up Alex Hansen. Hansen singled in the first inning. Also had 1 hit in the first game and hit back to the pitcher his last time up. Takes the pitch outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Smith over at first. Nobody out here in the top of the 6th. 5-3 Preston. Looking to sweep the doubleheader. There goes the runner. The pitch swung on and missed. The throw is wild and late as Smith steals the base. First steal of the game for Smith. He also had 1 in the first game of the doubleheader as well. So 2 steals today for Isaiah. That gives him a total of 7 on the year. Next pitch home to Hansen, misses down and away again. Ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. Noble back on top. Smith still bouncing around out there at second base, and Hansen thinks it gets a little bit too much of his attention and asks for and gets timeout. 2 balls and a strike. Again, looks back at Smith, comes home. He's not running, and the pitch is thumbed toward Garcia. He has it there on 1 bounce, goes across in time for the out. Check that, first out of the inning as Hansen grounds out 6-3. So that brings up Jackson Fazer, who tripled and drove home a run back in the first inning. Has
next,
2 hits here.
Number 1, Fazer.
So Fazer with a pair of hits here in the second game of the doubleheader. One for 4 in the opener today. As Noble holds, still holding, now comes home. The first pitch to Fazer is rolled just outside of first and down the line. One 0-1 the count on Jackson Fazer here. And the next pitch popped up. Garcia, the shortstop, backing out, has it back behind second base. That's the second out of the inning as Fazer pops up. And Smith, who led off the inning by reaching on an error, still stands at second base 2 outs later. Now here is Justin Inglet.
Number 44, Inglet.
Inglet, RBI single in the first, hit into a double play his last time up, 1 for 2. So Smith with a walking lead away from second base. Pitch home to Inglet. Taking outside, ball 1, 1-0. 5 runs for Preston on 7 hits. They've left a couple of men on base here in the second game as well. They bluffed back to second base, and back to the bag is Isaiah Smith. All the time, Justin Inglet waiting at home plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Holding. Now here's the 1-0. Up high, ball 2, 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Preston could use this run that's standing out at second base to get a little bit of an insurance run. Next pitch home to Inglet, misses inside. That's ball 3. Craig Johnson, who had 1 hit in the first game, 1 hit here in the second game, waiting on deck. Here's the 3-0 pitch to Inglet, over for a strike. It's 3-1. Don't forget, stick around on the post-game show. We'll wrap up both games of the doubleheader. Take a look at the scoreboard as well. That's all coming up after this game is over here this afternoon. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Inglet. Misses inside, ball 4. So Inglet draws a walk.
Up next, number 20,
First
Johnson.
walk given up by Carson Nobles. And now here's Craig Johnson. Johnson tripled, scored a run, and struck out here in the second game of the doubleheader. Had a double in the opener, so a pair of extra base hits in his first game action, playing both in games 1 and 2 here this afternoon. As that's lined in left field, that'll be a base hit. His third hit of the day goes right between the feet of Cramry. That's going to get Smith home, and Johnson will go to second. It's a single and an error. So the ball bouncing around out in left field. Inglet goes all the way to third base. Coming home to score is Isaiah Smith. That makes it 6-3.
Up next, number 22, Dean.
That's actually the first hit of the inning. Now here's Colby Dean. Dean out on a good play after hitting the ball to third base and walked his last time up. Scored a run after stealing a couple of bases. First pitch to Colby. Ground ball hit to third. Noble has it there, goes across. Bad throw, gets away at first, and the run is in. Here comes Johnson to the plate. He will score as Dean reaches on an error. It's 2 more runs home for the Indians, 3 in the inning. And that makes it an 8-3 game with a little bit of insurance in their pocket with 6 outs to go in the game.
Up next, number 34, Chubb.
And that'll bring up the freshman, Carson Chubb. As Dean reaches on the air. That's a tough play by the third baseman, playing deep behind the bag. But the throw was wide over at first base. Good throw would have had him, as Dean is not a very fast runner. As a pitch to Chug is swung on and missed, and it's 0-1. So 3 runs home in the inning, a pair of errors against Burley. Only 1 hit. And here's the 0-1. Grounded just foul outside of third. So 3 runs home here in the top of the 6th. Preston ups the lead. They now lead it 8-3 here. Pitch home to Chubb. Breaking ball missed. 1-2. Trying to get the freshman to chase a slow-moving breaking ball off the plate, but he's doesn't swing at that. As he climbs back in. Now here comes the 1-2 on the way. Breaking pitch, that one got him as he goes down looking. Strikes out for the second time here in the doubleheader. He's 0 for 3, but Preston gets 3 in the top of the inning. We'll go bottom 6. It's now Preston 8, the Burley Bobcats 3.
Behind every project is a True Value. At Stokes Market and True Value in Preston, whether you need hardware, dog food, tools, batteries, plumbing supplies, paint, or cleaning products, you'll find them all. Plus a whole lot more at Stokes Market and True Value. With a large inventory, you'll find all the big name brands you trust and low prices every time you visit. So whether you're just starting or you're in the middle of a project, stop in today and visit our friendly, knowledgeable staff. Stokes Market and True Value, 217 South State Street, Preston.
Whether a loved one passes suddenly and much too soon or after a long and fruitful earthly journey, the families of Northern Cache Valley have known for years they can rely on sensitive and professional care from Webb Funeral Home. Now in their beautiful full-service facility on the south side of Preston, Webb Mortuary urges you to consider the benefits of pre-planning final arrangements in order that your wishes are carried out and difficult decisions are not left to your surviving family members. Make an appointment soon to talk about pre-planning with your friends at Webb Funeral Home. Webb Funeral Home, established in Preston in 1925, has served the needs of Franklin County families and their neighbors for several generations. Now in their modern new full-service facilities just off Highway 91 south of Preston, Webb Funeral Home continues to offer caring and professional services to all residents of the area in their time of need. Funeral directors Douglas Webb, Ron Smaley, and Jordan Webb, along with aftercare specialist Jody Rasmussen, thank you for your trust in them and welcome your questions and concerns anytime. A message from your friends at Webb Funeral Home.
We'll move along here, bottom of the 6th inning here this afternoon. Preston up here in the nightcap by the score of 8-3. And here for the Bobcats, Slater Robinson, who was left standing at home plate, will lead off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's the bottom third of the order due up for the Bobcats. And the first pitch to Watterson, breaking ball, hit off the end of the bat into short right field, but it's going to fall in front of Dean. So a little dunker is good for a hit. Just the
up next to bat is number 1,
5th hit in the game here for the Bobcats off of Dylan Haslam, leadoff man aboard. So here is Austin Carney as they go back to first base and Watterson back to the bag. Carney's walked twice here in the second game of the doubleheader. Takes that pitch inside. Ball 2, 2-0. Starting to get a little bit dark. Lights are not on here at Burley, but there are lights here on the field. As the pitch is inside. Ball 3, it's 3-0. Check that 2-0. 2-0 pitch. That's over for a strike, snap, throw back to first. And not in time over there. As it goes to 2-1. Next pitch is up high, ball 3. as Haslam falls behind. It's 3 balls and 1 strike here to Austin Carey, who's to throw to first base. Again, gets away from Facer. There goes the runner to second base. He's going to keep on going all the way to third. And it'll be another throwing error charged against the pitcher, Haslam.
Up next, number 10, Noble.
So here's the pitch home is up high, ball 4. So Carney walks for the 3rd time here in the nightcap. As pinch hitter coming up here for, nope, I take it back. It's still Noble who will come up to the plate. Landon Noble at the plate. Runners at first and third. Nobody out here. And again, he's going to go back over to first base. Noble 0 for 2 here in the nightcap. Hitless in the first game of the doubleheader as well. And the first pitch is a breaking ball to him. The misses down and away. Ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. Pretty good lead over at first base by Cranny as he's swinging as Noble, and so comes up empty, and it's 1-1. So a ball and a strike. Again, they go back to first, and again, back in time over there is Cranny. As again, they go back over to third again. Showing bunt, gets the bunt down, does Noble, as they have one play at first base in time for the out as the run comes across to score. So Noble with the bunt RBI, 1-3 on the putout, picks up a run. As Waterston comes home to score. Down to second base goes Cranny. He's there now with 1 out. Back to the top of the order, and Carson Noble due up, who's now pitching in the game. It takes the first pitch, a breaking ball for a strike, and it's 0-1. So the run makes it 8-4, but it's still a good lead for the Indians. Pitches up high, 1 ball and 1 strike. But it remains imperative for Haslam that he keeps this lead at 4 runs. That way, when you go to the bottom of the 7th inning, you're leading by at least 4, and a grand slam does not beat you. As the pitch is over for a strike, and it's 1-2. So a ball and 2 strikes. Haslam ready again. Again outside, 2-2. Smith with a complete game victory in the first game. Haslam working here, 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. And again, he's going to look back at second base and just flip the ball back there. The 1-2 pitch inside hits him. 4th hit batter of the game.
Up next to bat, number 2
against
Garcia.
Haslam. And again, puts runners at first and second and 1 out. So here's Ramiro Garcia, who was walked, hit by a pitch, had an RBI single his last time up, and scored a run. That came back in the 5th. As the pitch from Haslam is up and in, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. Hit off the end of the bat, rolled out in front of the home plate. Haslam down to get that, makes the play over to first base. That's the 2nd out. And both runners move up 90 feet. So Cranny goes to 3rd, Noble goes to 2nd.
Up next, number 20, Condi.
And Cody Condi, the catcher, who officially 0 for 3, reached on an error his last time up, hit a fly ball to left field that the left fielder Carson Chubb was not able to handle. And the first pitch here with 2 outs, over for a strike, and it's 0-1. Again, they go to third base, and again back to the bag safely is Craney. As Haslam backs off. Cody takes a little walk around, now climbs back into the right-hand hitter's box. And the 0-1 over his head, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 outs here in bottom 6. Bobcats have a run. It's 8-4 Preston. And Haslam trying to get off the hook without any other damage. Comes home to Condi, breaking pitch for a strike, and it's 1-2. So a ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch home to the catcher, and that's down, and that hits him. The 5th hit batter of the game today by Dylan Haslam.
Bat number 6, Richie.
Loads the bases and brings the tying run to the plate in the person of Scott Ritchie. So Ritchie struck out twice, was hit by a pitch. Bases full, first pitch home to Ritchie. Gets away from the catcher. Here comes the runner to the plate, and he will be out at home. Yes! As Haslam quickly covered the plate, and Carney is out 2-1, trying to come home. That's the way the inning ends. 1 run in the inning. They leave 2 on base, and we will go to the 7th. Preston leads 8-4 on AM 1340. And FM 105.5 along with mylocalradio.com.
At Franklin County Medical Center, their goal is to get you back in the game, back to work, and back to your normal way of life. Franklin County Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation Center has a team of therapists who specialize in providing you an individualized treatment plan, helping you reach your goals, working with doctors from all over the region to make your recovery convenient and close to home. Call today so you can stop suffering and start healing. Franklin County Medical Center, where hospitality and excellence.
Why do I drink milk?
Milk rehydrates my body after I work out.
Milk has the protein I need to build muscle.
Milk helps me maintain a lean body mass.
Milk helps my muscles recover and stay strong.
Milk has the carbohydrates I need to re-energize.
Milk replaces important electrolytes that I lose when I sweat.
As an athlete at Boise State,
I learned that every sip
is a victory.
What do you drink?
What do you drink?
What do you drink?
Milk Victory, brought to you by United Dairymen of Idaho.
Well, we move here to the 7th inning. Preston up 8-4. And here in the top of the 7th inning for Preston, it'll be the top of the order again. Tate Green, Dylan Haslam, and Isaiah Smith coming up. Green hitless here in the nightcap. 0 for 2, reached on an error, struck out, and had a scoring fly ball.
First up to bat, number 27, Green.
So 8 runs on 8 hits in the nightcap here for the Indians. 4 runs on 5 hits for the Burley Bobcats as the lights now come on here at the ballpark, but it'll be a few minutes before they are even near effective enough to really help the vision for the players in the field as the first pitch misses outside. Pitch number 2 also outside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. So 2-0 the count. Noble comes home to green. Little dunker into center. Comes center fielder coming up, makes the catch for the out. That's Watterson. So 1 out.
Up next to bat, number 9, Haslam.
And Dylan Haslam, who's had himself a day. 6 hits and 7 at-bats. The only time they got him was his last time up when he struck out. Has 2 doubles and 4 singles in the game. He has also scored 4 times here this afternoon as well. So have yourself a day, Mr. Haslam. As a pitch over for a strike, and it's 0-1. The only thing that would top it off is getting the final 3 outs in the top of the 7th inning and also collecting a victory here today as well. The 0-1 swung on a miss, and it's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Carson Noble on the mound in relief as the pitch is popped up. Foul ground, first base side, and it's Condi, the catcher, to make the play. So 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. And that brings up Isaiah Smith, who's 0 for 3 here in the nightcap. Popped up a couple of times
6,
and also
Smith.
reached on an error. In the bottom of the 7th inning today, it will be Scott Ritchie due up first for the Bobcats, followed by Chase Robinson and then Ike Macias, the middle of the order. First pitch to Smith was rolled foul. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's pulled foul, and it's 0-2. Today's game brought to you by Preston Pharmacy. Find them online at PrestonDrug.com. They've been serving the Preston area for all your pharmacy needs since 1980. The 0-2 pitch to Smith. Breaking ball misses down and away, and it's 1-2. Noble back up on top, both feet on the rubber. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Up high, 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Noble winds the 2-2 pitch, hit in the air toward left center field. That's hit pretty well. The outfielder is giving chase, but this is going to be going all the way to the bottom of the fence. Second base is Smith. He's going to round, head for third. The throw is cut off, and it's a 2-out triple for Isaiah Smith here in the top of the 7th inning.
Up next, number 32, Hanson.
So Smith goes all the way to third. 9th hit of the game for Preston. And now here is Alex Hansen, who has one of those hits back in the 1st inning that drove in a run. Noble ready, comes home. The first pitch off speed, breaking ball is swung on and missed, and it's 0-1. So Preston won the first game 6-5. They got 2 in the top of the 7th inning for the win. The 0-1. Hit in the air again to right center field. Cramry coming over and dives and makes the catch. Nice play. Saves a run. So Hansen flies out to left. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Preston leads 8-4 on FM 105.5, AM 1340, and mylocalradio.com.
Qualifications and rules apply. See institution for details.
Last play of the game, folks.
And the snap. Drops back. Whoa. Changes mind. Down the sideline. The 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Casasa! Unbelievable! Did you see that? Casasa!
Not to be a buzzkill, but what's Casasa? We're glad you asked that. Casasa. It's a catchy word for earning cash. Free Casasa checking rewards you in cash each month.
Ask for free Casasa checking at Advantage Plus Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by the NCU.
Home sweet home. That's where you go for a home-cooked meal, a good night's sleep, and, well, people who just like you for who you are. So if you call Cache Valley home, we hope you'll call West Motor home. Home to Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and of course home to Ram trucks. West Motor Company is home to so many car buyers in this area. It's because they treat you right and give you the best deal they can possibly finagle. Simply put, it feels right at West Motor. WestMotorCompany.com. Welcome home.
Pitching change for the Indians as we go here to the bottom of the 7th inning, as Justin Inglet will come in and try to save it here. As he'll come in relief of Dylan Haslam. Haslam went 6, gave up 4 runs, make it, on a total of 5 hits. Walked 4, struck out 4, but unfortunately for him, the chink in the armor today was hit batters. He hit 5 over his 6 innings of work. So here's Justin Inglet to get the last 3 outs.
First up to bat is number 6, Richie.
Scott Ritchie leads it off. Ritchie struck out twice and walked. Inglet winds and comes home, and the first pitch is swung on and missed, and it's 0-1. Inglet, who was 0-1 officially on the year, as he makes what is his 4th appearance on the mound, has given up 9 runs, 8 of those earned, walked 5, and struck out 1. As the pitch again misses down low, ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. Two and 1. Inglet ready again. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball over for a strike, and it's 2-2. The last outing that he had against Minico gave up a couple of hits that led to 3 runs in 1 inning of work. And he also walked 3 as well. As the pitch again misses down low, and it's ball 2, 2-2. Pitch home. Ground ball wide of third. That's cut off by Smith to keep it going into left field, but the throw of first base is going to be too late. So Ritchie reaches on an infield hit.
Up next to bat, number 19, Robinson.
As that'll bring up Jace Robinson, who has 1 hit, scored a run, struck out a couple of times here in the nightcap. So the leadoff man aboard. Burley needs to get a couple of more guys on base to bring the tying run to the plate. And the first pitch, breaking ball over for a strike, and it's 0-1. So Robinson with 1 hit in each game of the doubleheader today. Infield, double play depth. The 0-1 swung on and missed. And it's 0-2. Inglet's going to go to first base, and again back to the bag safely over there. As Ritchie goes back in on his hands and knees. Robinson waiting. No balls and 2 strikes. Runner does not go, and the pitch is hit foul back into the screen. So Robinson hangs tough at no balls and 2 strikes. Ike Macias waits on deck. And again, the 0-2 pitch. Missed outside. A ball and 2 strikes. 8-4 Preston, bottom of the 7th. Trying to sweep the doubleheader today on the road from Burley. The 1-2 pitch is hit at his short center field. That's going to be in for a hit. Hansen gets it in. They go station to station, so stopping at second base is Ritchie, and there's 2 on and nobody out. Back-to-back hits to open the inning.
Up next, number 7, Ike.
And that'll bring up Ike Macias. Macias, 0 for 2, was hit by a pitch earlier in the game. Up there now in a big situation with a couple of men on base, and the tying run is on deck for the Bobcats. And the first pitch to Macias misses outside, ball 1. This is a very young Burley team. 3 seniors on the roster, 6 juniors, and 5 sophomores as well as the pitch is swung on and missed. It's 1-1. Pretty much the same for the Preston club as well. They are fairly young as well up and down the roster. England up on top. Here's the 1-1. Breaking pitch, snap throw back to first. Gets away at first base and down the right field line. Both runners are going to move up 90 feet. That'll be another throwing error charged against Haslam. So the Indians with an error in each of the last 3 innings. The 1-2. Poke foul up into the screen. One and 2. Count stays. Nobody out here in the bottom rather of the 7th inning. The 1-2. Breaking pitch swung on and missed. There's the first out. Macias strikes out.
Up next, number 11, Watterson.
Slater Watterson, the center fielder, up. He had a single his last time up, his only hit here in the game. Hits the first pitch in the air towards short left field, and that's going to fall for a hit. That's going to get 1 run in. Watterson's going to keep going to second base, and the throw gets away in the infield, backed up neatly by Facer, and keeps the runners at second and third. So Watterson with his second hit of the game. Ritchie able to come home and score on the flare hit. Robinson goes all the way to third.
Up
Macias,
next, number 1, Cranny.
I should say Watterson goes to second. Now here's Austin Cranny. 1 out. 8-5. Cranny comes to the plate now representing the tying run. And a little meeting at the mound goes on. So Haslam back in behind the dish. There's the first pitch home. Cranny takes outside, ball 1. Cranny, the number 8 hitter in the lineup. The 1-0. Taking a strike, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Cranny has walked 3 times. In the 3rd, 4th, and in the 6th. Here in the second game of the doubleheader, the 1-1 pitch. Up high again, ball 2. It's 2 balls and a strike. Two balls, 1 strike. Cranny hitting from the right side. Here's the 2-1 offering. Outside again, ball 3. The number 9 hitter, Landon Noble, would be next. But if you walk Cranny, you're putting the tying run on base. Here's the 3-1 pitch. It's up high, ball 4. That's exactly what they do.
Up next, number 10, Noble.
So Robinson's at third, Watterson at second, and Cranny at first. The bases are loaded. The tying runs are on base. And Landon Noble at the plate. Noble, who is 0 for 3, 0 for 6 in the doubleheader, And unless you get a double play here, the leadoff man's going to get a chance to hit with the tying runs on base. As the first pitch misses down and away, ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. Next pitch again in the dirt, ball 2, it's 2-0. And now Dylan Haslam's going to jog out to the mound and go out and talk to his opposite number. So just a little bit of a meeting at the mound, just if anything else, just to get Inglet to slow down for a minute. Noble back in the box. Haslam back in behind the dish. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Way outside, ball 3. So it's 3-0. No place to put him. The 3-0 pitch over for a strike as Noble throws the bat away. Now he has to go pick it up. It's 3-1. Here's the 3-1 pitch, taking over for a strike again, and it's 3-2. So Noble obviously was taking a couple of strikes. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. 2 outs here in the inning.
Next, number 3, Noble.
Pair of strikeouts for Justin Inglet. Now here's the top of the order. Carson Noble to hit with the bases full, and he represents the go-ahead run at the plate. And the first pitch over for a strike, and it's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, line to right. It's going to be in for a hit. Coming up to get it is the right fielder. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. Going to third is Cranny, and the tying run is at 90 feet away. 2-run single for Carson Noble, and it makes it 8-7.
Garcia.
So Robinson scores, Watterson scores, Cranny goes all the way to third. 3 runs home here in the inning, and the tying run stands at third base with 2 outs. Here is Garcia. Garcia's walked, singled, was hit by a pitch. Shows bunt, and the first pitch is outside. Ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. The one time they got Garcia here in the nightcap, he hit a ball back to the box. Had a couple of hits and 4 at-bats in the first game as well. Winning run is at first base. Tying run is at third. 2 outs here in the 7th, and they go to first base. Outfield straight away, fairly deep. The left fielder, I believe, is still Chug. I'm not sure. It almost looks like that's not him out there in left field anymore. As that pitch over for a strike, and it's 1-1. Either way, whoever it is in left field for Preston, maybe just a little bit too deep. Inglet's 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball high, the runner goes, and they bluff a throw down to third base and just give the runner second base. So the winning run is now at second base with 2 outs, as Noble able to steal second. 2 balls and a strike. A 2-out hit should win it for Burley. Here's the 2-1. Breaking pitch outside. Goes to 3 balls and a strike. And if you want to live more dangerously, if you put him on, then the catcher, Cody Condi, comes up. The 3-1 is hit in the air toward the left field, going back on the ball, and it is over his head and off the wall. 1 run is in. Here comes the second run, and Preston wins it here in the bottom of the 7th inning as they win it by the final score of 9-7. As Garcia hits a ball over the left fielder's head and off the fence, and it drives in 2 runs. So for the Bobcats, they score a total of 5 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning, and win it by the final score of 9-8. We'll come back with the post-game show, wrap up both games, look at the scoreboard. It's all next. Stick around on FM 105.5, AM 1340, and mylocalradio.com. Today's game has been brought to you by West Motors, Preston Drug, First American Title, Stokes Market, True Value, Signature Home Health Care, Advantage Plus Federal Credit Union, Franklin Medical Center, Agra Service, S&T Electric, Farmers Insurance, Corey Bingham, Agent, Northern Title Company, Idaho Salvage, Limbrick Arc, and The Job Shop. Now stay tuned for the postgame show, coming right up.
It's a beautiful day for a ball game today. If you and I are out of dollars and cents, oh honey, we can always share a little hole in the fence. It's a beautiful day for the ladies. All your dishes away. We're gonna cheer and boo and raise a hullabaloo at the ball game today. At the ball game, a wonderful ball game today. Wow!
It's always refreshing to shop where you know you're appreciated. It's even better when you can get everything you need, quality parts at fair prices. The team at Preston Auto Parts CarQuest appreciate every customer. They work hard to make sure that you have the right part the first time, on time. Whether it's motorcycles, farm and ranch, lawn and garden, or car and truck parts, you can always get it all at Preston Auto Parts CarQuest. Stop in today at 17 South State Street in Preston.
Home sweet home. That's where you go for a home-cooked meal, a good night's sleep, and, well, people who just like you for who you are. So if you call Cache Valley home, we hope you'll call West Motor home. Home to Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and of course home to Ram trucks. West Motor Company is home to so many car buyers in this area. It's because they treat you right and give you the best deal they can possibly finagle. Simply put, it feels right at West Motor. WestMotorCompany.com. Welcome home.
This is the Preston Indians postgame show. Coming up, we'll recap tonight's game, take a look at the final stats, and a look at other games from around the area on the Ron Keller Tire scoreboard. Well, we welcome you back here to the postgame show as the Burley Bobcats battle back in the bottom of the seventh inning in the nightcap and end up winning it by the final score of 9-8. They scored 5 times on 4 hits. There was one Preston error in the inning as well. As give them credit, they fought back and they come away with the win. A game that's certainly heading to the bottom of the seventh inning with Preston with a 4-run lead. Looked bleak for Burley, but they're able to fight back as they send 8 men to the plate to win it. As it ends up with a doubleheader split. Preston winning the first game by a score of 6-5. And then a 9-8 final for Burley in the nightcap. So a pair of exciting one-run games as they end up in a split of the doubleheader. For Burley, 9 runs on 9 hits. They left 8 men on base in the game 2. For Preston, 8 runs. They also had 9 hits. They only left 2 men on base the entire game. The win goes to Carson Noble. He is 1-1. Justin Inglet suffers the loss in the bottom of the 7th inning, and he is now 0-2 on the year. We'll come back and wrap up today's broadcast from here in Burley. We'll do that after this timeout on FM 105.5, AM 1340, and mylocalradio.com. When it comes to all things electrical, Sean Carter and the guys at S&T Electrical should always be your go-to crew. With experience in everything from new construction to repairs, service, and new installations, S&T Electrical is professional and friendly in all they do. Your electrical work will be done right. Call S&T Electric today at 208-852-5878.
This is Sean Carter with S&T Electric in Preston, Idaho. It's what we do.
Do you remember last spring when runoff water was flooding fields and borrow pits because of plugged, collapsed, or non-existent culverts? Well, now is the time to get new culverts installed, and Valley Implement and Irrigation has the culverts you need. They buy them by the semi-load, and they have poly pipes and culverts in the diameter and length that will get that water running where it needs to go in the spring. Remember, too, that Valley Implement has a great selection of used tractors and farm equipment at prices that work for your operation. See Valley Implement and Irrigation in Preston, Logan, or Gray.
Qualifications and rules apply. See institution for details.
Last play of the game, folks.
And the snap, drops back. Whoa, changes mind. Down the sideline. The 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Casasa! Unbelievable! Did you see that? Casasa!
Not to be a buzzkill, but what's Casasa? We're glad you asked that. Casasa, it's a catchy word for earning cash. Free Casasa checking rewards you in cash each month.
Ask for free Casasa checking at Advantage Plus Federal Credit Union, federally insured by the NCUA.
Well, welcome back here as we wrap up today's broadcast, as Burley and the Indians end up splitting the doubleheader here today, with the Indians winning the first game by the final score of 6-5. Burley comes back with 5 runs in the bottom of the 7th and wins the nightcap, 9-8 the final. So that'll wrap up our broadcast from here at Burley today. Remind you again, our next broadcast comes up on Friday afternoon. The Wood River Wolverines come to town, come to Preston to face the Indians in a doubleheader on Friday. First game set for 3. The nightcap is set for 5 o'clock on Friday afternoon. The executive director of Preston Broadcasting Sports is Val Cook. Our studio coordinator this afternoon has been John Beverly. I'm Dan Hubbard. Thanks for listening, and we invite you to join us again on Friday afternoon when Wood River comes to town for a pair of games. As we remind you of the final score here this evening in Burley, the Indians win the opener by a score of 6-5, and then the Bobcats come back and take the nightcap by the final score of 9-8. From here at Burley, good night, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Preston Indians postgame show. This broadcast has been a production of Preston Broadcasting, LLC, and was intended for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Use of any portion of this production, its accounts or descriptions, in whole or in part, may not be used or rebroadcast without the express written permission of Preston Broadcasting, LLC.